Hello, hello. It is day 235 of my 365-day raw suspending disbelief journey. Um, Today was Friday, the 13th of December. And while I'm not suspicious, it did not end up being a great day. I woke up to my son in the bathroom throwing up and having some diarrhea and all of that. And he told me that he was, and I mean, I woke up, it was like I was waking up on time. My alarm went off and then I could hear that he was in the bathroom, and um I hadn't woken up to him before my alarm. And I don't know how many hours he was already dealing with it on his own, the poor kid. But he didn't wake me up. He threw up in his garbage in his bedroom, and ended up plugging the toilet, all these things, and plunging it himself. He's 7, okay? And just um he was trying not to wake me up, and like, what a sweetheart, but also I was just like, you poor thing, like, you can wake mama up, it's okay. And anyway, it ended up being a really rough day. He'd been up for I don't know how long before that, on and off. And then it just continued throughout the day. So I um, would kind of just get him settled, and then I would sit down to do something else, or like I left and took his sisters to school and then came back. We're in this small town, right? So it's like gone for 10 minutes or whatever, 15 minutes, and um left the dog with him and stuff like that. He wasn't worried about it and I wasn't worried about it, but uh it was like barely enough time to go and do that in between episodes. And even just being at home with him, it was like we'd get all settled and cleaned up, and then I would sit down and I would start something, and then it would start all over again. So it was all day coming out both ends. Just, it was really rough. Thankfully, he was drinking lots of fluids and um, being willing to nibble on some things so that his stomach wasn't completely empty while he was throwing up, and things like that. And um, there's no resentment there. Just, it was not a day of trying to do anything else. It was really just like, be there for him and drive the girls around, and just sort of let it be what it is and have that be fine. And I did have some communications come through from both my oldest school and from his teacher, and some conversations that need to be had based on those, and hopefully some progress that can be made on um, the interactions that they're having at school, as far as their education goes, and especially for my son, feeling like he's not being challenged. Just the stuff that is coming in from the teacher, just sort of realizing how far beneath his level it is, that is being taught to his class at this point, was sort of a shock for me. So there's some back and forth conversations that are going to need to happen there, and which I did start. It took a long time to get through sending emails and stuff today, because it was like I would start writing and then we'd be right back in the bathroom. But I am really grateful that he knows how to aim now. There's a lot less cleanup. So there's that. And uh even like trying to give him some Gravol and stuff like that to help lower the amount of nausea he was experiencing just did nothing. And it just was a rough day for the poor little dude. So it was, I mean, and for myself, it was just tiring. Like, it was just sort of so constant. And then it was weird because normally I don't have calls at the end of the day, on a Friday especially, but I had a couple, and one was really exciting. I'm going to be an editor for an anthology, um, which I'm really, really excited to be a part of. And it was sort of our kickoff call for that. So that was really exciting. But I don't usually show up to calls in this sort of like, this space, and I was just exhausted. So, it was what it was. We didn't even do a movie night tonight because it was so, up and down with Jace and, um, just so much else, going on communications wise that I sort of let the kids just pick their shows and go with it. And I tried to get those couple of emails out to the teachers, and that was like all that we could put in the day. And I mean, that was okay, especially coming off of 2 days of multiple Christmas concerts a day and everything. It was just I think we were all just sort of done. And unfortunately, Jace had a bug going around his classroom, so he ended up catching it. So, hoping that the rest of us don't catch that and that it doesn't continue for us into the next week or two, because we've got um, my uncle is coming in next week to stay with us towards the end of the week, and Christmas holidays are starting, so really don't want that to continue. But if it does, we shall deal. So that was my day today. I don't know if there was any mindset in there. It was just very, it just was what it was. And yeah, so that's what I've got for you today. I will talk to you all tomorrow.